So I just got back from watching my favorite movie of the year and my all-time new favorite movie of ever, Supergirl. Supergirl is my favorite DC character. Yes, I can see the comments, but I genuinely don't care. She relates to me so much in a way, and I just love her character. Now, I am going to start this video off with a spoiler-free review, but later in the video I will do a disclaimer saying when I will get to spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, but you want a spoiler-free review, I'll let you know. So with all that said, hi, I'm Robo, and let's get into the video. For a spoiler-free review, all I can really say is the casting was just amazing. I genuinely couldn't ask for a better casting. Jason Momoa as Lobo, or yeah, Lobo. I almost said Lambo for some reason. But Lobo, he was just phenomenal. Then I forgot her name off the top of my head, but the person who plays Supergirl or Kara, she was amazing, and James Gunn really wasn't lying when he said this is the best Supergirl casting he's ever done, or just casting in general that he's done, because I loved it. Then, all I can say is the fights were awesome. I'm not going to say what happens in this segment of the video because it's spoiler free, but I'll leave it there. My only critique that I can give, or whatever the word I'm looking for is how I wish the movie was longer and how I wish Lobo had more screen time. But that said, that's all I can really say for spoiler free. Uh, Now on to the spoiler segment. So you have been warned. The movie starts off with Kara basically being hungover or whatever because of all of the drinks she's been drinking, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, then we basically get introduced to our second side character. I don't know what they're called. They're not necessarily a side character. I don't know if they're a second antagonist. I don't know what the word is, but we're introduced to them. They want revenge for their family because the main villain of the movie killed her family and now she wants revenge. She basically follows Kara around the entire movie. Even when Kara says stay put, she follows her anyway. Um, and throughout the entire movie, basically, Kara is just saying, like, leave me alone type stuff, and, like, basically just telling her to go fuck herself. That's the best way I could describe it. Then she also gives her lessons, like, oh, if you keep doing this, or if you do this, it won't make you feel better, it'll only make you feel worse. Then the next main plot at the beginning of the movie is kind of how it sets up. Crypto gets shot and is now sick. He only has 72 hours left to live, and so this kind of sends Kara down not a rabbit hole or spiral, so to speak, but kind of just like I don't know what I'm looking for here, but it basically makes her motivated to help the girl get her revenge, but not help in a way that she's actually helping. Just kind of a way to, I don't know, if you watch the movie or whatever, you know what I mean. Then later in the movie, like midway-ish, we get introduced to Lobo. He's a badass. Jason Momoa, as I said, amazing casting. I love how they just interpreted the character on the big screen because he just he's so awesome. All of the fight scenes he has, everything. I particularly like the fight scene where he uses his motorcycle near the end, maybe the middle, where he uses his bike and chain and just like wraps it all around him, just dragging people. He's just so cool, man. Then basically, Kara is wanted and she gets poisoned. Like, she finds these people that she thinks she can trust, but then they betray her, poison her, and now She's kind of on the run, not really. But then later in the movie, she finds people she can trust, or quote unquote trust at least, and then they bring her to a kryptonite filled planet, and or at least where the sun is made of krypton. I don't know what it is really, but yeah. um Basically they betray her as well, or quote unquote betray. They never really trusted her to begin with. But yeah. Then the little girl that I fucking despised in a way because I didn't really like her. I found her annoying. Um, she had her little arc where she was in a prison, then she choked out one of the guards, then she escaped, or I think she escaped. I don't know, but yeah. Um, Apologies if I'm repeating myself. By the way, I've never really done one of these reviews before, and this is my first time doing a movie review. I don't know how to do these. Uh, But yeah, I just wanted to do one because Supergirl. Uh, then, while this is all happening, Kara gets flashbacks to when she arrived on Earth, or Earth, I can't speak, my bad. Um, Earlier, I forgot to mention as well, there's flashbacks of Krypton getting destroyed and how she arrived on Earth. Then, when Kara, or when the sun rises, Kara gets her strength back, and then she kind of just fucks everything up. Not in a bad way, like she fucks everyone up. Like it's one huge fight. Then she gets injected by kryptonite. She's sick for a little bit again. Then Ram or not Rambo, I almost said Rambo. Sorry, Bandit. Lobo, um, he kind of comes in, saves the day, and then Kara's back to herself, fucks everything up even more, and then that's kind of it for like the main segments that I can think of. But yeah. Then at the end of the movie, Kara reunites with Cal. When I first saw this, I was like, "Wait, is that the poster that they used to promote Superman?" But it wasn't really. Uh, Crypto finds himself in chocolate, and Kara basically goes on an adventure with the little girl because she doesn't celebrate her birthday with anyone, and she thought, why not make an exception, I guess. So, yeah, that's kind of a short summary of the movie. I loved everything about it. It's all I ever wanted in a Supergirl movie because, as I said, it's my favorite DC character, all of that. And as I told my friends, I don't typically cry during movies, but I cried a few times in this. So, fuck the critics, fuck the haters, fuck everything. This movie is perfection. I give it a 10 out of 10. Now, one little small thing that, as I said earlier, that I wish happened was the movie being longer. It's kind of like a when you sit down, you finish it in an hour movie. I wish it was like 2 hours, maybe, or maybe like an hour 50. I think it was actually an hour 50, but at least 2 hours. I love at the beginning of the movie too how they played This Summer by Cy Bells, I think is how you say it. I fucking love that song. So when they played that, I was so happy. Then the next little thing I want to point out while I'm on the subject of things that make me happy, I love how they portrayed her character. I think I mentioned this earlier, but if I didn't, I'm doing it now in case I forgot. I love how they portrayed Supergirl's character with her being drunk and all of that. Then again with Supergirl's character, I one thing I love is how the entire movie she's like, "Oh, I don't care" type attitude. But then in the movie later she grows and then she goes up into space and like screams and a tear comes from her eye basically. But as for the main villain, I didn't really care for him really. I kind of liked him, I kind of didn't. I kind of wish it was Lobo, but at the same time, I don't know if that would really make sense in a way. But yeah, as a Supergirl fan, I approve this movie. I don't know why I said message. But yeah, I've did this all in one big take, and yeah, it's been Robo. Read the Gifted Uninspired, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Future Robo here. I have another complaint. After talking to my friend for a little bit, I do kind of wish they showed Supergirl's outfit more, as she only wore it for like the last 10-ish minutes. And I get it. It's lore related, so like, oh well. But yeah, I kind of wish they showed it more, and because it was in all of the marketing, so it's like, given how it's in the marketing, you would kind of expect it to be in the movie more. And also because she had it for the entire movie, but didn't use it. At least we saw the coat a lot, so I enjoyed that. I don't wanna be the one that falls